The Lost Giant. The air wobbled a bit, shimmered, swirled, and with a whoosh, a rather bewildered 12-foot giant appeared. He was only a very young giant and looked like any other young boy, except he was much larger, of course. "Oh dear," said the giant, stepping on a bush and flattening it. Turning around, he bumped into a tree, which bent over at an alarming angle. "Stand still," called a tiny voice. "What was that?" said the giant, startled. He whirled around looking for the voice and knocked the tree right over. "Where am I?" "You're in our farmyard," yelled the small voice. "I think you're all my fault." "Where are you?" asked the giant. "Down here by the well. Bend down carefully and you'll see me." And so, carefully, the giant bent down and peered at the well. Standing next to it was a little boy with blonde hair and very dirty knees. "Oh," said the giant, "you're a little boy. Aren't you afraid of me?" "All the little boys in my storybooks are afraid of giants." "Not me," said the little boy. "I was wishing for someone to play with on my magic marble, when the air went wobbly and I dropped it. I was crawling around in the mud looking for it when you appeared. My name's Oliver. I think I magicked you here." "I'm Bertie," said the giant. "I was wishing for a friend on my magic marble too, and he fished a marble as big as a donut out of his pocket." "Wow," said the little boy. "That's wonderful. I wish I could find mine." Just then a voice called from inside the farmhouse. "Oliver, it's lunchtime." "Oh no," said Oliver. "That's my mum. You'd better hide in the barn." They headed across the cornfield to the barn, and Bertie crawled inside. "I have to go and have my lunch," said Oliver. "Are you hungry?" Bertie nodded, and his tummy rumbled. It sounded just like thunder. "I'll try and get you something to eat," Oliver promised. Oliver gobbled his lunch up, then rushed back to the barn to see his new friend. He had brought Bertie a jam sandwich, which he'd hidden in his pocket. Bertie ate it in one bite. He was too polite to tell Oliver that giants make their sandwiches as big as double beds. "Now," said Oliver, "we have to find my marble and a way to get you back home. You're too big to stay here, and Dad said he had some work to do later in the barn, so we'd better hurry." Bertie and Oliver crept out of the barn and back to the well. They both got down on their hands and knees and started searching for the marble, but they couldn't find it. Then Bertie said he was thirsty and peered into the well. "It's been filled in," said Oliver. "Good thing," said Bertie, reaching into the well and pulling out Oliver's marble. "Hooray, you found it," cried Oliver. "Back to the barn. It's time for some magic." Back in the barn, they rubbed their marbles and tried all the magic words they could think of, but nothing worked. Then Bertie had an idea. "The air went whoomph when I arrived, didn't it? So if we make the noise backwards, it might magic me home." They said goodbye and decided to swap marbles like best friends do. "We might even find a way to visit each other," said Oliver. In the distance, Oliver could hear a tractor. "Oh no," he said, "Dad's coming." Then they rubbed their marbles hard and said, "Poomph, whoo." The air wobbled and shimmered a bit, and in a flash, Bertie was gone. Outside, the tractor stopped, and Oliver's dad came into the barn. "That's a pretty amazing marble," he said, nodding at Oliver's hand. "It's a giant-sized one," said Oliver, and smiled secretly to himself. The end.